The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US-based and available in 40 states. Head to KUTT.com. That's KUTT.com, cut.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick'em for a chance to win 100x in NBA, MLB, NHL, college basketball, and more. Sign up today using promo code NBASGPN to get a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Know me, know the voice, know the guy. It's me, really raw, villain raw, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Man, in a season where the Hawks are not good for anything, and I mean they are not good for anything. Matter of fact, I can give you exactly 46 reasons why they're not good for anything right now. But if they good for one thing, and I say it's one thing, they gonna beat the Celtics, man. They gonna get a dub against Celtics. They said we gonna make sure we get a win out here. 44 in overtime. And then I thought that there was gonna be some discourse.
You're talking about point shot attempts.
I mean both.
Okay.
Kobe would be proud. Hey, you got to make sure your team gets across the finish line. If you got to take 44 shot attempts, that's what you got to do, DeJounte. And, that's just what it is. But, I mean, between Tatum missing the free throw, between Jaylen Brown making the shot in clutch and still losing the game, or between Derek White getting a foul called that really, really wasn't a foul, but it's Derek White. He deserves it. I don't know what was better.
Get a Tatum travel in there too.
Oh, yeah, it was the Tatum travel in there. Yep, I don't know what's better. Like, I really don't know what's better. And I think what's so great about the refs having somewhat of a play in that, because the Tatum travel wasn't travel. He was fine. The Derek White foul call wasn't a foul. He was fine. But those two calls doesn't explain why you're in this situation as a 16-point favorite. They don't explain it. So I need some help. I need some help from our listeners because I want to get a bet listed on Cut. Had the idea. I was talking about it on Twitter last night. I want to get a bet listed on Cut because what should be the odds of Boston and, like, really not my bias, but what should really be the odds of Boston or Milwaukee making the finals? Because I want to take the other side for plus money.
Do you want me to try to settle on right now?
What would you? So, Cut ask you, what's the percentage of that happening? What do you think the actual percentage of Boston or Milwaukee being one of the two teams to come out the East is? Because I want to make a bet, and whoever wants to lay that juice can lay that juice, but I'm taking the other side.
Okay, well, I mean, it's going to be a decent minus price because Boston's minus 125 by themselves and Milwaukee's plus 310, and the Knicks are 10-1 by themselves. So, if you're going to group the top two together,
let me text.
I would say that it's probably somewhere in the minus 300 and change range for the Boston or Milwaukee. Probably minus 300, minus 400, somewhere in that range, if I had to guess.
So, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, minus 300 or minus 400 sound kind of crazy. If they're minus 140,
it sounds crazy.
Minus
I'm going
250?
betting odds.
Is it minus 250? Like, is it what is it? Like, what's the percentage? So that's how Cut puts it. They puts it into a percentage, and I guess they make the line. So I'm trying to figure out what's the percentage. Is it 75%?
If you wanted me to set it, I'd probably have like minus 350 on Milwaukee or Boston, and the rest would be like plus 275 on the other side.
Minus 350? Wow.
Probably 350 and 275.
Is anybody let's see if anybody's willing to take my bet.
I was going to say, though, because if you toss the Bucks out, the Knicks are the favorites at 10-1. They're basically giving no other team a realistic shot besides the Bucks and the Celtics. So Yeah, I think 350 sounds about right. If I had to price it myself.
Okay. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna confer with Dave Sharepan, former odds maker, my guy, and Ryan, because Ryan, been doing the cut bets for a while. We're gonna get a bet listed on cut because I want to take the other side. And I think a lot of people would say take the top two, and I understand it. But I don't trust Doc, and I don't trust the Celtics. I don't. I'll take my chance, and I'll throw a little, if it's plus money, a little 25-50 on the other side for sure. All right. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Scott Studio Reichel, people. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beam me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, Celtics, there are only 2 games on. The Celtics managed to blow another game they probably should have won. First team I can remember that have lost multiple games outright as double-digit favorites in the same season. That's kind of wild. It's a crazy resume. You lose to the Lakers without LeBron, and you lose to the Hawks in a game after you blow a 30-point lead. It's kind of impressive.
To the same team. The same team.
The same
so
team.
It's like, it's so funny because I can hear Celtics, like the Celtics chatter of, it's just one game. You got to win a series. Da da da. Well, you just lost 2 in a row. If this was a series, you're down 0-2 again.
And the post-game press conference comments were weird by Mazzulla because he's talking about how they were trying to experiment with different coverages with Porzingis covering DeJounte to kind of prep them for the playoffs, which I guess could go like either way on that.
That's what you say when you're a loser. That's what you're saying when you're a loser. When you win, you say it happened according to plan, and you knew that we did something new, and it was a great change. But if it doesn't hit, then you say we were just experimenting and all this. No, it's loser talk. That's all it is. It's just pure loser talk.
That's how I look at it, because you've blown massive leads and you've lost games you should have won for many years already, even before Mazzulla got there, but especially since Mazzulla's been there. Some people are trying to defend it, saying, all right, you're going to try to tinker and figure something out. I don't buy that. So I'm glad you jumped on that, because I just think they lost the game. I just think that Boston, losers. Once again, was a team that kind of just turtled down the stretch. That's just how I look at it. I just think that they're a team that constantly will come up short mentally in big spots, and they win by double digits all the time. But in close games, if you're able to keep the game close for about 3.5 quarters, you got to like your chances. That's how I look at it.
Before we get to the games, got to talk to you about, hey, you listening to me, the NBA Gambling Podcast? You should be listening to my other show, The College Basketball Experience, with Kobe Dant, Pick Dundee, Ryan McIntyre, Noah B, handling business 5, 6, 7 days out of the week. I'm in there on Saturdays. I'll be there tomorrow. Actually, we'll be talking a little Elite 8 action, man. And I'll tell you, I was so sold on the Caleb versus UNC. Caleb was ducking smoke, but then again, it turns out RJ was ducking smoke as well. Neither one of them really wanted to smoke with each other. Like, neither one of them really wanted to smoke with each other with their performance last night. So now we have Clemson and Alabama, the game that everybody wanted. Trevor Lawrence versus Tua, Dabo versus Saban. We have that matchup again. But we also have Illinois and UConn. That's going to be an interesting one, too. We'll break it down. Check it out tomorrow on the College Basketball Experience. And also check out the Sports Gambling Podcast flagship pod, Sports Gambling Podcast with Ryan, Real Money Kramer, Sean, Stacking Money Green, where they picked every single tournament game against the spread since 2012. And guess what? Those guys were on Alabama and Clemson last night. Dang, they're doing really, really good over there. Good things. Shout out to the Mothership Pod Sports Gambling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe today to both the Sports Gambling Podcast and the College Basketball Experience, wherever you get your podcasts.
I still can't believe Withers took that 3-pointer.
I can't believe that. I can't believe a lot of things that happened in those games last night. I can't believe Caleb and RJ were so bad. I was
going to say, I know that they're beefing right now, but deep down, this is a sign that they should be best friends, right?
Yeah, they literally did the exact same thing.
Pretty much.
All right, man. We got 12 games on the slate. Let's go ahead and start getting through it. First game up on the slate, we have the Charlotte Hornets welcoming the Golden State Warriors in a homecoming, kind of, sort of, for Steph Curry. It is. I'd say it's a homecoming. If there's anywhere, it's Charlotte. Like, if anywhere is home for Steph, it's 100% Charlotte. So A homecoming for Steph Curry here today. Opened up -10. They are now laying 13 against the Charlotte Hornets. 220 is the total. That actually has gone up 2 points. Injury report for these two teams. And I have here for the Charlotte Hornets. Looks like Davis Bertans is probable. Mark Williams is out. LaMelo Ball, Cody Martin, and Seth are all out for the season. And for the Golden State Warriors, we have Jonathan Kuminga, who is questionable, and Dario Saric, who is also questionable. All right, Scott, here we are. It is Golden State laying 13 on the road against Charlotte. What you doing?
Yeah, of course I am going to be tempted to take Charlotte because the Warriors laying this many points on the road is kind of wild. But I think I am going to lean to Golden State. I got to give them props, I'm not saying they're going to get over the finish line and make the play-in. Houston, we know, is breathing down their neck. Warriors. Shout out to Tari. But I do think for the sake of the matchup, the Hornets, we know, are a bad basketball team. Nice win against Cleveland, but still they're not a very good team at all. The Warriors beat Orlando without Draymond for 44 minutes, which is extremely impressive. Probably the most impressive win of the season when you factor in everything that's there. I'm going to lean to Golden State. I just think that Golden State, the game, of course, matters more to them than it does to Charlotte. But when they were able to go into Miami, I know Butler didn't play, but still, they went into Miami, they went into Orlando, they won both games. It's a good sign to me. They were dealing with adversity. They had a chance to roll over and die. They refused to do so, and I give Golden State props for now for fending off Houston, at least in the short term, for that 10 spot. I'm going to lean to the Warriors. I just think that in this type of spot, Curry maybe gets a three-point shot going. He really has not shot the ball well recently, but with the Rockets keeping pace, every game matters. I'm going to lean to Golden State.
Golden State as a favorite of 10 or more this season is 6-1 ATS. No, excuse me, 6-1 straight up, 4-3 ATS, but 2-5 to the over. So 5-2 to the under there. In this game, and that's where the total's kind of more where I was looking more than the side here. I mean, we pick everything, so I just keep remembering in my head. Do you remember the game in Golden State against the Wizards? And they are literally watching the second string in the game. Gary Payton, Steph, they're watching the second string in the game. And they're like, oh, they're about to backdoor cover this. Like the Wizards are about to, we're not about to cover the spread. Or there was like the Wizards about to cover the spread or something like that. Like they knew what the spread was, and they were laughing when a meaningless bucket went in or something like that, and they covered or didn't cover. I got to remember exactly what the situation was, but they are aware of the spread. They know what's going on.
That's what happened in the first meeting this season. They won by 13 because one of the bench guys took a layup when they could have taken a shot clock violation. And then
and then it was Santos. It was it Santos?
Could have been.
Who was it? Was somebody, and they got into it because Bridges got mad, and then everybody was getting ready to fight at the end of the game.
Yeah, but that was also a matter of
I was on Charlotte that game. I was on Charlotte that game. Oh, screw that! I'm on Golden State, laying 13.
But I'm saying that it was the exact same situation. Like you said that they knew the spread, but even the first meeting came down to that.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, and they know Golden State knows the spread, bro. Golden State knows the spread because they did against the Wizards. They did against Charlotte, as you just said. I'm taking Golden State and laying 13. But that's really not the big play. The big play, I look kind of like the under. I don't know why this line is going up. I think that both teams play pretty solid defense. Golden State's been a lot worse over this period of time, but Charlotte is like anemic to scoring. I don't think that they're going to be able to go out there and just run the score up on Golden State. And I don't think Golden State is trying to go out here and put up 120 on them either. So I just think this is going to be a low-scoring, dominant defensive game for Golden State. Give me the Charlotte Hornets and Golden State under 220.
Yeah, I like the under as well. No chance I'm going to take the over with the Hornets being involved. They had one really good offensive game. Miller, I think, hit 7 threes in that game against Cleveland, but that's a one-off as far as I'm concerned. I have months of data suggesting Charlotte's a terrible offensive team. I'm assuming they regress back to the mean.
Yeah, dang. Thanks for reminding me. I was so pissed at that game. I was so pissed. All right. Player props. Anything you got? No Kuminga.
I mean, I kind of do I think Steph actually has a good game offensively because Draymond's back. That might take away some of the facilitating responsibility for Steph because he had a double-digit assist game once Draymond got ejected. But Clay threes has been pretty decent. I do like Brandon Miller in this game, though. Like I think Miller is starting to kind of figure out his game in the NBA. It helps when your team's awful, so you get the green light the entire time. But Miller's been good. Bridges has kind of taken a step back a bit. So maybe a Miles Bridges under for points. He really has not been good for the last couple of weeks, but Miller's been solid. So Miller over, Bridges under.
All right. Yeah, I like the Miller over. I think I will take a stab at who do I want to take a stab at to just have a randomly good game. Let's go with Pajemski.
Okay.
No Kuminga. I've always said, I think that the real we know the big dogs where Steph, Clay, Draymond, Chris Paul, we know they all really have an impact with this team, but Kuminga and Pajemski been really, really good this year. So no Kuminga possibly. Let's take a stab on Pajemski. But if Kuminga plays, I'll be back at Kuminga because I just think he's good. He's the second leading scorer for this team past the All-Star break. So I'm gonna continue to back him as well.
By the way, if anybody was wondering what the point totals were, Miller's point total is set. I'm trying to even see if I could find Miller's point total. I see Bridges at 19.5. He's gone under that one in 4 of the last 5, so I do like that. Miller's also 19.5. I think Miller is probably going to drop 20 and change, so I'll lean to Miller over 19.5.
All right, let's see here. If I were to play, well, they don't have his line listed, so I can't give you nothing on Pajemski. I might be on. No, I won't. Screw Nick Richards. All right, I changed my mind. Yeah, that's it for me. When Pajemski's stats come out, he's probably going to be 1.5 on the threes. I'll probably take his threes.
Sure.
Hope he gets hot behind the arc. All right. Before we get to the next game of slate, gotta talk to you about Cut, peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 states. Peer-to-peer social betting is the new way to bet against your friends or just other users on sports, politics, pop culture, other events with a verifiable outcome. I told you the bet that I'm trying to get listed. I'm going to work with the Real Money Kramer, and we're going to get a lineup on Celtics, Bucks to win the East, or literally anybody else. I don't know who it's going to be. I'm not going to lie to you. I really don't know who it's going to be, but I can tell you who it's not. I can absolutely tell you it's not. And Boston never given me confidence, and the Bucks have Doc Rivers. And ultimately, I think that's going to be their downfall. And it's probably going to be the karma they deserve. So, hey, no idea. But give me the rest of the East. Hopefully Joel Embiid comes back and the 76ers just run through everybody and they make it easy. Maybe you'll see another Miami Heat masterclass. Maybe you'll see that. Who knows? But get down on Cut if you say that I'm crazy and you want to take the, lay the chalk with Boston and Milwaukee. Get down on Cut. I'll take your bet. I'll take the bet. So Cut handles the payment side of things, so you never have to chase anyone down for money, social features, rewards, all of this other stuff. Download the Cut app or go to kutt.com. That's kutt.com. Cut.com, promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports and also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. You can win up to 100 times your money, people. That easy. Up to 100 times your money. All you have to do is pick between 2 and 5 players, build a pick'em entry. You can pick higher or lower on their stats, and hey, you could win big. So, hey, we're going to give you an underdog lineup. They just cashed another one. Didn't you cash another one? They've been really good. I haven't been doing my part, but Munaf and Scott, you should listen to them and get your underdog picks because they are on a heater. So this is a chance for you to go ahead and get down on underdog. And this is what I have for you. Sign up today, use promo code NBA SGPN, and you can get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. So visit UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with our promo code NBASGPN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Must be 18 or older and present in the state where playthrough Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www.ncpgambling.org. All right. The Los Angeles Lakers are on the road going to play the Indiana Pacers. Pacers open up laying 2. They are now laying 4. 243.5 is the total. Injury report here for these two teams, and I have for the Los Angeles Lakers. It looks like, well, that's not the Lakers, that's the Lakers. LeBron James is questionable. Anthony Davis is questionable. Gabe Vincent is out, which is actually an upgrade for him because he's supposed to come back on this road trip. Apparently, the Nets game, I believe it is, Scott, when Gabe Vincent makes his return, the Nets game. So we should get ready to back his unders and everything.
I'm happy he's still alive.
Vanderbilt
I hadn't seen him in 4 months. I'm happy he's still alive. Where's Kendrick Nunn at? He alive? How's he doing?
Kendrick Nunn. I have no idea if Kendrick Nunn's even on a roster right now.
I just mean in general. Has anyone seen him exist? Is he still? No. Is he good? Okay.
Jared Vanderbilt, Christian Wood, Jalen Hood-Schifino, all not playing, as we know. All right. Pacers at home, so you know that means automatic over. Over 243.5. I mean, they scored 1,000,000 points last time. What was it, like 3 points from 300 last time? Like, so it's an automatic over here, especially with the Pacers at home.
I'm gonna take
the Lakers. Interested. The line? Why is the line going up? Like, I mean, the Lakers are rolling.
Are they assuming that LeBron or AD or both are going to sit? Because they said LeBron's battling an ankle issue allegedly, but he's been questionable the entire season. AD's
it's like the boy who cried wolf. It's literally like the boy who cried wolf. Like, we don't know if these guys are actually questionable now because they've been questionable all year.
Pretty much.
So now we just so used to seeing them questionable and them playing. So I guess maybe the line moving from 2 to 4 is saying that, hey, these two are actually injured and they're probably not going to play. Because why is Indiana favored here? Why is Indiana growing as a favorite? I'm taking Indiana.
I'm going to lean Lakers right now, but I'm not going to bet it. I have to wait to see the injury news. But if LeBron and AD play, I'll take the Lakers.
Yeah. Tomorrow, I know the Lakers aren't good. I know they are. That's a great point. But I mean, when's the last time Lakers lost a game? I can't remember the last time Lakers lost a game. I picked them to lose a lot, but I can't remember the last time they lost a game. Was it the Warriors game? Was it that Warriors game? Yeah, it was that Warriors game on Saturday night. Like,
yeah, they won 5 straight.
Yeah. So why is that team? Why? Nah, I'm taking Indiana. I don't believe it. Smoke and mirrors. Indiana, nice bounce back spot after getting blown out by Chicago in Chicago. Come back home, have a good game. They play better at home, more efficiency, more scoring, all of that. Yeah, I'm. My gut says just go with Indiana here, even though that line movement is really confusing because the Lakers should probably be like a 2-point favorite. All right. Well, we both like the over. That's easy. Player props. What you got?
So I don't know who's going to play for the Lakers. So I'm going to have to wait and see if LeBron's out. Of course, I'm obviously going to take D'Lo assists, which has been a cash cow every time LeBron is out. Rui's been really good, so I might be tempted by a Hachimura prop. But let me just quickly see what his points are at. He's at 14.5 points. He's gone over in 3 of the last 5, but he had 32 against Memphis. It's 16 against the Bucks. He only had 9 against Indiana in the last meeting, so he's in line for a bit more scoring. Only took 8 shots in that game, though, so I do think he might be getting more volume. I like Rui in the spot. 14.5 points. I think that's a bit low. Had 32 last game. I think Rui's in line for good showing.
You better get your Rui props in now before you better get your Rui props in now before Gabe Vincent come back and Darvin Ham starts sitting him again. Oh man, Gabe Vincent is about to come back and ruin this team. I mean, they're already not good, but he's gonna make them worse. All right, Casey and his trend center said that teams that play their last 5+ games on the road and are now at home versus teams better than 500 record are 24 and 40 ATS since 2020.
So he likes the Lakers.
No, he doesn't like the Lakers. They're 24 and 40.
No, he likes the Lakers.
Oh no, he likes the Lakers. Okay, so
the Pacers play 5 straight on the road and now they're at home.
Oh, okay. Oh well, yeah, and I mean, I do believe there is an angle there of teams going on a long road trip, coming back and not being too well, especially early in that first game. I might do a little Lakers first half, Indiana money line. Really get the blood flowing in this one. That's going to be a nice juicy place.
Once again, I'm going to lean Lakers, but I'm going to wait until the injury report because there's no point in me trying to guess who's going to play for the Lakers in this game.
For the player props, let's see. Is there anybody that I just like off top?
Well, you have to like somebody for Indiana because you're expecting a high-scoring game and you're picking them to win.
I mean, I can blindly just take points on Indiana and feel pretty good about it. I don't think either team is playing defense, to be honest.
You want Siakam?
Is Siakam? Let's see. TJ McConnell gives you random close to triple doubles every now and then. I might look at TJ McConnell for a PRA. It's been playing a lot more. Man, I played Neesmith once and he blew me. I'm probably not going to play him again. It might just be Halliburton. It might just be Halliburton. Call it a day for me. I do like the Miles Turner. I do like the Miles Turner look too, Adam.
I thought about Neesmith under 4.5 rebounds. He's gone under in 17 of 20. He's actually never.
Bro, I bet that one time. And I promise you, I picked the one of the three of those 3 games that he went over. I swear I picked the one. I swear I did.
He had 5 last game against Chicago, but in general, Neesmith rebounds has been a pretty good fade. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm tempted by. No, not really. I mean, Halliburton's assists have really not been great lately. So if you want to maybe look for an under, but you're expecting a high-scoring game. So yeah, I don't really have much else.
All right. Los Angeles Clippers. Wait, before we talk about Clippers, gotta talk to you about AG1. Because if your digestion system a little out of whack, if you're not feeling very focused, if you're feeling sluggish, if you feel like your immune system is low, AG1 gives you what you need. When I started drinking AG1, I could feel a difference in my daily health, and I had energy. I was ready to go, start my day, go out there, run a mile, go work out, and then come back and do all my prep and my work and my job for the day and continue everything going. I didn't feel like I needed a nap because AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement. That is what AG1 is. So replace your multivitamins, all that extra stuff, all those pills, gummies, whatever it is. Get AG1. Every scoop has prebiotics, probiotics, vitamins, magnesium, folate, all of these other really, really big words I can't pronounce, but I know that when I looked them up, they said they're really, really good for you. So I recommend AG1 to all my friends and family. I think you should try it as well. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs. When you first subscribe, go to AG1, drinkag1.com. That's drinkag1.com/SGPN. drinkag1.com/SGPN. Check it out. All right, next game in the slate. Los Angeles Clippers on the road going to play the Orlando Magic. Clippers are laying 1.5 here. 212.5 is the total. Injury report for these two teams. And I have for the Los Angeles Clippers, nothing to report. For the Orlando Magic, Gary Harris is not on the injury report, so nothing to report there. Let's just go ahead and put a lock on Orlando. Let's just go ahead and put a lock on Orlando. So I don't even need to. I don't need to say anything.
Congrats for beating the Sixers, I guess.
This has got to be the. Are we all getting cooked here? Are we all about to get cooked here with Orlando? Why are they playing in our face like this? I mean, Orlando is dominant at home. They are dominant at home, and they're coming off a home loss.
Yeah. An embarrassing one because Draymond only played 4 minutes.
Actually, back-to-back losses because they lost to the Kings, too.
You can argue the Clippers should have lost that game, too, because Kelly got fouled, and they didn't call it, and then he cursed at every official in the building. But
this has to be the easiest game. And is this not the easiest game on the card? Why is this not the Vegas Shark will play 500 unit play of the day? Take Orlando. Why is that not displayed? Why would anybody? Is anybody on the Clippers? Is anybody on the Clippers?
So I like Orlando.
Tomorrow said I can't trust Orlando, but that doesn't say that he's on the Clippers. Is anybody on the Clippers? Nobody's on the Clippers.
I from what I've seen watching this team play for the last couple of weeks, I can't take him in the spot.
Hey man, I'm fine getting cooked. I'm fine getting cooked. If I get cooked in this game, I get cooked. I don't care. If it's a trap, I'm dead. There you go. If it's a trap, I did. But the Magic are good at home, and this Clippers team sucks. They literally underperform. And how many games has it been of them underperforming where they should probably be at?
I mean, they should have lost the last game. But if you want to just
4 games in a row,
win,
so 4 games in a row. They didn't cover against Portland. They lost to Philly at home. They lost to Indiana at home. Both of those embarrassing losses. And then you go on the road to Philly, and you basically lost the game. You needed the strength of Kelly Oubre is really, really funny, man.
He was.
Oh man, whatever, bro. All right,
he cursed out the ref's grandma. That's a new one. I've not seen that before. But I mean, you're going through the last couple games for the Clippers.
Dangerous.
It was
back
wild.
the buzz jokes get dangerous.
Cursed out the whole family. But the point is, they beat the Trailblazers back-to-back games. Didn't cover in one of them. Games before that, lost to Atlanta at home by 17. Lost to New Orleans by 8. And once again, they had the controversial win against Philly. So, yeah, I mean, they should have lost that game. The Portland's Portland. My thoughts on them are well documented. And besides that, they have lost those the last couple games. So I don't want the Clippers at all. Give me Orlando.
Good numbers by tomorrow in the chat. Magic 3-6 ATS and straight up at home versus 60% win teams. Okay. So you're saying that, yeah, they are good at home, but only against lesser competition. Respect. All right. Let's see here. I'm on the under as well. Pretty easily. I think the Magic control this game. If they're gonna win this game, they're gonna win it with defense. So I like the Orlando Magic in this game to go under 212.5.
I don't know if I actually want to touch the full game total. I think I might just want the Clippers team total under, or just go with Orlando team total over, because my lock from the last game was the Sixers team total over. The Clippers defensively have just not been very good. Just simply put. So I think Orlando can actually score against this team. So I'll lean to maybe the Magic team total over, maybe Clippers team total under, but that Clippers defense has been extremely underwhelming for the last couple weeks, and the team totals are a bit low against them. So give me the Magic team total over.
Casey also had a stat. I didn't see this one. Magic this season versus teams with winning percentage less than 66%. So you can be over 60, but you ain't hitting 66, and not in the Southeast Division. The Magic are 30-6 ATS. So pro Magic stats, not pro Magic stats. I mean, I think we all. If it's the lesser of two evils, but I trust the Magic at home, and I don't trust the Clippers at all whatsoever. Not even.
Awful loss.
Maybe in Orlando.
Yeah.
In Orlando first half. That's what I was gonna say. What are you saying?
I was going to say, off a loss to Golden State without Draymond for 44 minutes, it's a good get right. It's a good bounce back spot, in my opinion.
Yeah. And to the Kings on the road, too, man. All right. Let's see here before we get to the rest of the games on the slate. Got to talk to you about Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. You can research every NBA, soccer, and MLB. Just used it and swept MLB yesterday. Shout out to Hall of Fame Bets for that. I'm going to definitely be getting back on the MLB card today. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool, and you can get it broken down by leg, hit rates, expected probability, all that. Stop betting in the dark and join the over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. Okay, here we have the Detroit Pistons on the road going to play the Washington Wizards. Wizards opened up -2.5. They got up all the way to 4, and now I see the line coming back down to 3.5.
It's the big game.
227.5 is total. Yeah, it is. Like, really, honestly, truly, this game has the most sweat of me on any game of the slate. But let's just go ahead and start with. All right, injury report for the toilet bowl here, and we have for the Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham is questionable. Holy shit. Jalen Ivey's questionable. Oh, fuck. Fontecchio is out. Quentin Grimes is out. Taj Gibson is out. Well, that's addition. That's subtraction. And for the Wizards, we have Tyus Jones out. All right. Rashawn Holmes out. Okay. Landry Shamet out. Well, and yeah, that's all everybody that matters.
I'm going to lean Washington, but you can persuade me.
No, say your point. Say your point. You're unbiased here. I have a bet on one side already.
I just can't trust the Pistons if I don't know if Ivy and Cade are going to play. They're the only two players on the entire team worth a damn. I mean, besides Duran. I like Duran, but you got Metu, sure. Like, they might be without their entire backcourt. I just can't trust I can't trust Detroit here. At least Washington's healthy. Kuzma's playing. Avdi is healthy. Bagley's back. Poole had 38 points against the Nets the other night. At least they're talented. They have some talent on the roster. I don't know what the hell Detroit has. So I'm going to lean to Washington.
I'm very stressed out.
Well, you should be, because Cade and Ivy might sit your most important game of the season.
Yeah, man. If Washington wins this one, I give up on the bet. Like, I'm just gonna I don't actually have a physical ticket but I will fake rip up my physical ticket and throw it in trash.
I gotta look at the injury report though. Detroit does not have many good players. 2 of them might not play. That's a problem.
I'm gonna back my guys, man. I'm gonna back.
Okay.
It doesn't look good because defensively they're not good. They're giving up easy points. Washington loves taking easy points. Avdia and Kuzma should feast near the rim. Bagley too. Bagley might have a double-double type game. You guys probably should be betting Washington. You probably should. But I'm sticking with my first instinct, and I'm rolling with the Pistons.
You're taking the points.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, of course you take the points. No, I'm not hedging. What? What? No, I'm not hedging. I'm all in on the Pistons here. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm about to go hedge. No, I need the sweat, man, because guess what? What if every one of you are wrong? What if everybody's wrong and the Pistons win this game? I'm back in there, man, and I would be so sick if I doubted them. So I know I am not excited about this game. I do think that my ticket could be ended tonight, but on the small chance that it doesn't, oh, I'm going to be inconsolable. So, no, I'm not a Gardner. Get out of here. 227.5. I just seen it move up to 228 in a couple of shops. I'll take the over because the Pistons can't defend against anybody. If they're going to win, they're going to have to score more points than the Wizards.
I'll lean over too, but I don't really have much for this game.
Yeah, man, but guaranteeing yourself a profit isn't as cool as when you see that major profit go through.
You might be on.
I understand, but I get it. Let's see. I took a position with you. Yeah, stick with it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for supporting me. I appreciate everybody supporting me, sticking with the team, even though it don't look good, man.
I mean, for the record, I would stick with it. I mean, there's really no way to hedge this. Even if Detroit beats Washington, you still might lose the bet. So there's no point. You can just double. I
think that I would have considered it if Detroit was laying points here. I might have considered it.
Yeah.
If I was getting a plus money price on Washington, I might have considered it. The fact that I have to now lay points. So what if Washington wins and they win by 2? Like, I'm screwed. And then if I even the money line, like, I guess like laying the juice, but like I'm straight, bro. It's not even as fun. Like I will hedge. I'm not anti-hedge, but I'm only not anti-hedge when I'm getting like huge plus money on both sides because it's like, dang, I just hit a crazy bet regardless. But yeah, nah. I'm rolling with the Pistons. I'm sticking with the Pistons here. They get it done on the road. They're due. They are so due. All right. Where are we at? We have the Philadelphia. Oh, wait. Player props. Any other player props you have? I talked about Bagley and a couple of the bigs for Washington. I think are going to have good games. Anything else you got?
Yeah, I mean, Bagley rebounds is always a good place to go when he's healthy. If you want to go for the overall trends here, Poole under 6.5 assists because he never tries to pass the ball. Hit 38 points last game. He has done better recently with assists, but I do once again the Nets game went to overtime though, so his numbers were a bit inflated. But he's gone under this assist number in 15 of 20, so I'd consider the under on Poole assists.
All right. Luis, I did not see any Pacers news pop up on my phone, so I have no idea why your bet got locked for the Pacers game, but I didn't see any Pacers news pop up on my phone. All right. We have here Philadelphia 76ers on the road going to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs coming off the loss to the Hornets, and Philly coming off of that that crazy game versus the Clippers, excuse me. Open up Cleveland -7.5 is now Cleveland -8.5. 212 is the total in this one. That's actually gone up from 210. Injury report for these two teams, and I have here for the 76ers, nothing to report. I mean, the same people that are out are still out. Joel Embiid, Robin Covington, and Anthony Melton. And for the Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell is questionable. That's an upgrade. Darius Garland's probable. No Dean Wade, no Ty Jerome. I guess Donovan is why that line moved up and why the total moved up as well.
I just can't believe Cleveland's laying this many points. I get the argument is Cleveland has been, the more talented team this season, especially with Embiid being out, but Philly's been good against this team. Philly's 2-1 head-to-head. All 3 meetings were decided by less than 8 points. Even Philly beat them without Embiid back in late February at home by 7. I don't know why they're laying this many points. Both teams have not been good. Cleveland, we saw kill Charlotte, and they ended up losing outright. They gave up 118 points. You could argue that they might be motivated to get back on track, but they've lost 4 of 5. They have not won many games by a large margin recently. And I think Philly, in what I think should be an ugly game, so I'm going to lean to the under. I'm going to lean to Philly. Cleveland, we've seen them have a lot of injured players throughout the entire season. I still don't like Mobley and Allen together. I think it does not work between the two of them. So I'm going to fade the Cavs in the meantime. I see 8.5 in some spots. I'm going to lean 8.5 for Philly. I'm not laying this with Cleveland. I don't want to. Mitchell's first game back in like a month or two. No, I'm not laying 8.5.
I mean, but in the Cavs' defense, and I get you don't like when they are healthy because that means Mobley and Allen are playing together. But now it's Donovan and Garland, Mobley, Allen, Strus has been playing
I don't really
better.
like Garland and Mitchell together too, but that's a separate story.
You just don't like this team.
I don't like their starting 5. I think they have a lot of pieces or a lot of duos with front court or backcourt duos that I don't think fit each other. I don't think that their games mesh well together. So I'm not a fan of the Cleveland team at full strength.
I felt like I should feel better about this game, but I don't. I'll take Philly in the points, but I don't feel as good because Cleveland is full strength, and this could be, the get right spot at home that they've been looking for. So to kind of get them off of that bad game slide and then start winning a few more games, because we know when the Cavs get hot, they can get hot. But yeah, I'll take Philly in the points, but I'm nervous about that one. 212.5. I do kind of like Cleveland teams on over.
Okay. I might lean to just general over in this game. But yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. I think if I had to pick, over 212. All right. Play props. I missed the days where Afro Man was just an auto bet for Cleveland, and we just knew that at the end of the night we were cashing an Afro Man bet, but that's no longer the case.
By the way, I see that FanDuel listed Mitchell at 18.5 points. So series min restrictions upcoming. But just keep an eye out for that. Is Buddy Hield really at 8.5 points? Because I see 8.5.
Let me see. Because that doesn't sound right. Why would he be that low?
I don't think he is. Be.
Yeah, he is. Am I remembering Buddy Hield's game log? recently wrong?
No, he's gone over in 15 of 20. He's gone over in each of the last 2 meetings against Cleveland. So, yeah, I like Buddy Hield over.
So is he on a minutes restriction too? Is everybody on a minutes restriction today? What's Buddy Hield's thing with 8?
No, he's played at least 25 minutes in each of the last 2 games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe a few games ago you see that 13 and 15. Are they just expecting him not to play? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, play that.
Adam's saying he's coming off the bench. I know that. I don't mind him coming off the
Yeah,
bench.
but like he's still
a bunch of threes.
Yeah, like, and it's not really much scoring off the bench anyway, so that's confusing.
But I'll lean over on that one at 8.5.
I kind of want to play Kelly Oubre's unders.
Okay. He's at 16
you don't think the refs,
points.
You don't think the refs are going to have no clapback at all for him looking 3 refs in the face and calling them all bitches and their family bitches? Like, you don't think there's no, like, the refs are going to be like, all right, if this guy even looked like he finna pick up that pivot foot, we calling travel on him.
I'd rather bet a technical foul prop on Kelly Olynyk in this game, but
Oubre.
Not Olynyk, sorry. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, my bad.
Kelly,
man. Whatever. Yeah, my point.
All right, man. Anything else here?
No. Really.
Can I tempt you on a Kyle Lowry under 6.5 today?
Sure. Why not? I'll consider it. I'll do some good for the community today.
Hey man, no, bro. You have to literally have analysis and everything for it to work. You can't just say you'll consider it. You have to.
Fine. Well, Lowry's gone under in 3 of the last 5, 6 of the last 10. Did have 7 last game against the Clippers, but I mean his minutes have dipped over the last couple of games. He's attempted less than 5 shots in each of the last 2 games. He's made less than 3 shots in 4 straight games. So, yeah, I'll lean to Kelly Olynyk under.
What's with you and Kelly Olynyk, yo? Kyle Lowry,
whatever.
Yo, okay. What's with Kelly Olynyk catching the strays on this show today? Does he even have
because
a game
I gave
today?
out his under and assists against the Knicks and then lost by 4. He went over. I'm salty at Olynyk because he went over his assists.
Oh man,
40.
All right, man. Let me go move on before Kelly Olynyk catch another stray in here, man. All right, next game on the slate, we have the Chicago Bulls on the road going to play the Brooklyn Nets. Your Brooklyn Nets. Chicago's laying 3, opened up at 3, is still at 3. The total, however, opened up at 217, is now down to 215.5. Injury report for these 2 teams, and I have for the Chicago Bulls. Ayo Dosunmu is probable. Alex Caruso is probable. No Julian Phillips, no Zach LaVine, no Patrick Williams. And for the Brooklyn Nets, Dennis Smith Jr. probable, Noah Clowney probable, no Cam Johnson, no Ben Simmons, base stop, Whitehead. Yeah. All right.
I'm going to lean Nets, but I don't really have a strong opinion on this game. The Nets have actually been good against Chicago. They're 2-0 this season. We saw Cam Thomas had 38 points last game, so maybe he'll finally string together a couple of good games in a row. Chicago played really well against the Pacers last time out. That was at home. They are not very good on the road as they are 16-19. Both teams are actually 16-19. Nets at home and Chicago on the road. But I'm going to lean Nets here. It feels pretty weird that the Nets have won 2 straight. Chicago won their last game against a good Indiana team by 26, and the spread's close. The Nets beat the Wizards and literally Kelly Olynyk with Toronto, and those are the 2 of the worst teams in the league. So that doesn't really mean anything to me, but the line looks short. I'm going to lean to the Nets.
If we could just go by recent form, they blew out this Washington team, 127. This is the Chicago Bulls, by the way. I'm sorry if I made that unclear, but Chicago Bulls blew out this Washington Wizards team, 127-98. And then in the next game, 2 days later, they won against the Portland Trail Blazers, 110-107. I'm going to take the Nets. Just going to face Chicago after a blowout win and just say this team isn't built like that, and they're going to go and they're going to get killed. Well, maybe not killed, but they're going to underperform. They had a game where they overperformed. Now they're going to underperform. So I'm going to face Chicago. I'll take the Nets +3. Not really too strong on that one either.
Yeah.
Probably a good lean to the under, though. I feel good about a good lean to the under, though. I'll take the under here, 215.5.
Yeah, there are a couple of really ugly looking games on the card. So this is one of them.
All right, Nets. Let's see here. Tomorrow said that Nets are 1-3 straight up, and ATS coming off OT. Okay, good look. All right, player props. I mean, it's a lot of injuries.
I don't even want to bother for this game, to be honest. I don't mind Cam Thomas over. He had 38 last game. We were kind of waiting for a Cam Thomas game, and we finally got one. He might string a couple of these together. We know Cam Thomas can average 30 in a month. They might not win many games, but he's gonna shoot it a lot. You don't know. DeJounte shot 44 times. Maybe Cam Thomas goes hold my beer. But I think he's gonna shoot a lot. Give me Cam Thomas over. I think he's in line for a good game.
All right. Let's see here. Next game on the slate, we have the New York Knicks on the road going to play the San Antonio Spurs. Knicks are laying 9, 213.5 is the total injury report for these two teams. And I have for my New York Knicks, Alec Burks is questionable. I hope he doesn't play. No Julius Randle, no OG Anunoby. Mitchell Robinson, as if you didn't know, played last game. He'll be coming off the bench, limited time, just getting him back in the game shape, all that extra. And for the San Antonio Spurs, Keldon Johnson is questionable.
I'm going to take the Knicks.
Look out.
Might be. Vassell been carrying teams recently.
San Antonio's on a little streak, though. Look out.
Yeah, I'm not stepping in front of the Knicks.
Yeah, man. I'm not.
I can't.
I'm not. This Knicks team, and like it just with Mitchell Robinson back, that gives them another body that they can now play. Like it's not just Achua Hart. Like now the Josh Hart triple doubles might be a thing in the past for a little while until we get some more injuries. But it's been really good to have that rim protection and to have that addition of Mitchell Robinson come back. So
even just dealing with
Miles
Wemby.
and McBride. McBride's been really, really good, man.
Yeah, I mean, even dealing with Wemby, you have multiple guys now, an extra 7-footer you can use to at least make Wemby uncomfortable. And we already know that San Antonio, Vassell's been very good. Is the rest of the team good? Not really. I mean, the Knicks have been really good recently, especially against bad teams. So if you think that Brunson and Hart and all these guys play another 35-plus minutes, 40-plus minutes, they don't take their foot off the gas. So I'm going to have to lean to the Knicks.
Yes, Isaiah Hartenstein is black. Well, he's mixed. He's mixed. It's very funny.
He's a modern age Blake Griffin.
Yeah, it's like it's a little bit worse, honestly. Like he
Might
really be. When he said it, I was like, I'm not surprised. And I knew who his dad was, so I already kind of knew. But like, I understood why people didn't know. I really did. So
I'm not surprised by that either.
Very, very
I mean,
funny.
Dante was on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he said like a similar thing. I'm assuming people thought Dante was white at some point.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to my man Hussein too, who's going viral because he looks like Jalen Brunson, and they talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
Yo, they said that man is his twin, and he do look like him. Like it's really funny. He's a Knicks fan. Like he's a big in the Knicks space. Like he does Knicks spaces on Twitter. Like all this Knicks stuff. Like he's really big in that space. So it's just hilarious that he actually looks like Jalen Brunson too. All right, it's clear for us. We're both on the Knicks here. 213.5 is the total. I'm going under with the Knicks defense and the Spurs team, who's playing slightly better defense.
I don't know. Part of me wants the over because I think the Knicks can actually score against this team. I'm going to lean over. I think the Knicks can potentially get into the mid-1 teens in this game.
Mm-hmm.
They're just playing good basketball, simply put. So I will lean to the over.
Yes, they are. Dante isn't either. I swear they have like a drop of black in them, but they are. It's funny. It's really funny. That's what hey man. The Knicks know how they want to build this roster, and it's working right now. So I'm not getting mad at them. I'm not getting mad at them. They're getting all the mulattoes together. Josh Hart said his daughter his daughter's the same way. They're funny, man. It's a funny podcast. I don't want to sit down and actually watch an episode start to finish, but seeing it on TikTok is actually a kind of funny show. All right. Player props before we move on. I mean, I feel like McBride has to be in your card. He's averaging 18 since getting in the starting lineup, and he's playing the full game.
Yeah, guy plays every minute. So I think McBride's definitely worth a look. McBride under for rebounds has actually been decent, especially with the playing time he's getting. You'd assume he's going over. He's actually not. And now that Robinson's back, they have more size to steal away rebounds from him. So I don't mind that. DiVincenzo's been great. I don't mind DiVincenzo threes in this game. We know he's going to shoot whenever he gets it. The problem is that 4.5. So it is plus money. So you can find some potential plus money value there. But no, not really. I'm just expecting to see the Knicks play well, and they're probably going to win.
I will take Miles McBride threes. Even the 2 threes is at minus 175. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just take 2.5. I'm sorry. 2.5 is minus 175. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just take over 3.5 and get plus money. I think he'll still hit 4, especially with Wemby inside the paint. Like, they're going to try to shoot on the outside. And I think that him and Dante, they're both going to put up. So one of both. I like both. Dante and Miles McBride. I'll probably be on their threes. It's just I can get a better price on Miles McBride.
Forgot to mention, by the way, this is a big game for some future bettors because if Wemby plays 20 minutes tonight, you can officially rip up your Chet Rookie of the Year tickets.
Oh, yeah. That was really the only, and I was one of those people that said, hey, let me get a slip on Chet just because, Wemby might not play the games or, anything could happen. Yeah. If once Wemby hits that threshold,
he's one game short. You need 20 minutes. If he plays 20 minutes, he's winning Rookie of the Year. So I'll see what happens.
Pretty much. All right. Let's move on here. Wait, we said player props? Yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
So next game on the slate, we have here the Portland Trailblazers going to play the Miami Heat.
They're laying how much?
The Heat opened up laying 15.5 and is down to 14 now. 209.5 is the total. First of all, 209.5 and 209.5 is the total, and they're laying 14. So injury report here. I promise you I'm going to make this really, really quick, guys. For Portland, we have DeAndre Ayton is questionable. Matisse Thybulle's questionable. Jerami Grant's doubtful. No Anthony Simons. No Termani Camera. No Malcolm Brogdon. No Shady and Sharp. Oh, so that's why they're laying this number. And they also have for the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler is probable. Jaime Jaquez is probable. Caleb Martin is probable. Kevin Love is probable. Duncan Robinson is out. No Tyler Hero. And we know Josh Richardson's out for the remainder of the year. Banton,
I'm not laying this.
Banton. It's going to be the Banton legacy game again. He's really good, man. He's really good, and he's going to hoop. DeAndre Ayton's going to have a random good game as well, where he stat pads, and they're going to be good. Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm laying this with the Miami Heat. Like, come on now. They don't even take this serious. By the time it'll be like 2 minutes to go, the Heat will be up 15 and they'll pull everybody and they'll win by 9 or 8 or something like that. Like, I'm not taking this game in any type of serious. At this point, it's not even fun. Like, it's not even fun. I have no idea why the Heat are laying this many points. And
I'm supposed to lay 14 points with the team starting Patty Mills in 2024.
Okay, so Portland plus 14, sprinkle on the money line just to humor ourselves because the Heat do Heat things sometimes, especially at home. And 209.5 is the total. Just give me a Miami team total under. I don't even care about the full total. Just give me a Miami team total under. If the total is at 209.5 and you're telling me that the Heat are 14-point favorites, there's no way they're getting to their team total of 112.5. I don't believe it. I do not believe it.
I'm not even sure. I guess I'll lean under, but I don't have much, if anything, for the total.
And I will, let's see here. Well, before I say that, let me look at Portland. Yeah, give me Portland team total over 97.5. I'm not high on this Heat team. The books are overpriced the Heat. They way overpriced the Heat today, and they're gonna get killed for it.
I mean, that is a low number. So
all right. Let's see here. Player props. Anything you like?
I mean, you mentioned Banton, but I got to think of who's actually going to play for Miami. I tried to give out not a Buddy Hield. I tried to give out a Patty Mills over last game to be cute with it, and that did not work out at all, as he was terrible. Yeah, once again, it's tough to actually find player props I like. I see Jimmy Butler points is at 19.5. If you want to make a case for the over. Scoot's at 18.5 points. That feels a bit high. I'll into the under on Scoot. He's gone under 18.5 points in 8 of 10, 16 of 20. 18.5? Isn't Scoot shooting like below 40% from the floor this season? I'll take the under 18.5.
But with everybody out, he might take every shot.
Well, if we're calling Banton to have a big game, that means somebody's going to take shots away from Scoot.
Yeah. Banton's been too good for me not to back him. He's been way too good. All right. Let's see here. Next game on the slate, we have the Phoenix Suns and the Oklahoma City Thunder in a game with the huge implications in the Western Conference. Suns are laying 2 on the road here. 227.5 is total injury report for these two teams. And we have for the Phoenix Suns, Nurk is questionable. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, Shea is doubtful with that quad injury and probably needed because he wasn't looking too well for the past few games while he was dealing with it. So probably no SGA.
Are you officially writing him off the MVP race?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this was the last thing he needed. Like, he didn't need an injury. And that was the only thing that was, I knew the risk I was taking back in Shea for MVP. If an injury came, whether he tried to play through it, it looked bad, or if he sat out to not look bad and miss games, it wasn't going to help his MVP cause. So, yeah, it's Jokic, 100%.
According to NBA.com, he got leaped by Luka for second place.
Oh, wow, really? I mean, I don't think the votes are going to come in like that, but cool for NBA.com.
I think Jokic is just going to win. I don't really care who gets second or third, but I think Shea's also not winning. So,
yeah,
there you go.
All right.
And they shouldn't force it anyway, because OKC has bigger things to worry about.
Yeah, long term.
They'll still be first team All NBA. They'll still get accolades.
And just go finish with a good seed. Start prepping, get them healthy, finish with a good seed, go into the playoffs. You're making the playoffs. And that's better than you could say for the past, how many years? 2020 was the last time Thunder made the playoffs.
They made the play-in,
Chris Paul.
and then they lost.
Was that a play-in? They weren't in the playoffs in the bubble? No, they were in the playoffs in the bubble. They played the Rockets.
The playoffs they were. I'm saying they were in the play-in, I think it was last year, and they lost to Minnesota in the second play-in game.
The Thunder?
Yeah. I remember Giddey had some insane first game in the play-in, and then he was awful in the second game, and Minnesota killed them by like 20. But
because I was hoping that we got the SGA playoff run.
Yeah, no, we just didn't get that.
I remember now. We're gonna get it this year, and I'm glad they're sitting him so he can be healthy for it. It was close, and he really did have a strong push for MVP, like more than most secondary players when you talk about an MVP race, because for the past few years it's been Embiid and Jokic, like Embiid and Jokic and Giannis maybe, but like he made the best push of a secondary player to get it, but it's just not going to happen this year. And then, but it's going to be John next year for sure. All right, 227. Oh wait, we ain't even talk about the game. Yeah, no, I'm on Phoenix. I don't want. Yeah, I don't. I might get bitten. Chet will look horrible, man. And granted, he was in foul trouble, so maybe I need to give Chet another chance. But like,
I got to give props to Giddey though. Giddey was really good against Houston. He was really good.
Yeah, man. I don't know if it's enough. They have to really clamp down defensively.
Suns looked great against Denver. That's a good sign, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go on Phoenix going on a roll. Suns -2.
I'll lean Phoenix, but I'm not gonna bet it.
227.5.
I'm gonna lean under. No Shea.
Are
we sure OKC's gonna score a bunch of points?
Give me a Phoenix team total over. I don't really know what they're gonna do to stop this Phoenix team defensively.
I mean, they faced
Shea actually
this season. Oh, sorry, you go. I think your mic got disconnected. Terrell, you muted yourself, but whatever. I'm curious how long at this point Terrell's going to realize before he muted himself, but I see your mute icon is on. So I don't know what happened there. Anyway,
can you hear me?
Now you're back. Welcome back. I don't know if your mic was acting up or what happened there, but either way, they faced off 2 times this season. First meeting flew under, but that was back in November. Faced off in early March. That game did land 228. But a reminder, Shea did play in that game, and he had 35. So
can you hear
your
me?
mic's been in and out, but now it's
can't hear
back.
you.
I think you're good now.
What is going on? What just happened to my mic while we were in the episode?
I don't know, but I think,
Audio.
but you're back now.
Oh,
so I'm
now it's on the microphone. That's what it is. So let's switch it back to my mic, and then now I hear you.
Yeah, you're good.
No, I don't. Oh no, I hear you. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Cool.
okay, we're good. Yeah.
My mic just turned off, and you know when you unplug your mic and it automatically mutes you, and I don't know why my mic just turned off there, but whatever. All right, we're back.
I lean to the under and I lean to Phoenix. I think your mic cut out again. Is that just me, by the way? No, your mic's acting up again, Terrell. I don't know what's happened. But anyway, while you fix the mic and you want to just exit out and hop back in? Then that would do anything. But either way. Okay, so that's not just me. We'll figure it out. Okay. So let me just tell Terrell quickly. Okay, so he opted out. I'll try to keep going from here. But anyway, for the Thunder game, I'll lean to the under, and I will lean to Phoenix. Not a great, I'd say, strong feeling for it, but Phoenix defensively did a really good job against Denver. OKC did fight against a team that had won 9 straight, so they were giving the Rockets a serious run for their money. They couldn't guard Jalen Green at all, and I just think with Booker and with Durant, they have a lot of isolation scores that can give this team problems. So I am going to lean to the Suns and the under. Moving on to the next game, arguably game of the night. You have the Timberwolves taking on the Nuggets. The Nuggets are laying around 7.5 at home. The over-under set at 213.5. If you want to go for the injury report, you can definitely expect to see a physical game between these two. But Jokic is probable. Murray's questionable. He has not played the last couple games. Edwards is questionable like always. And Gobert is questionable like always. Of course, Towns is still out. Now, they faced off recently in Minnesota, and we saw Denver win that game. Close, came down to the wire. Jokic kind of took over the fourth quarter there. But at the end of the day, 7 for Denver. I think it's a lot of points. In my opinion. I'm going to lean to Minnesota. I think Minnesota defensively can give Jokic problems. We saw Jokic had, I think it was 0 assists in that last meeting in Minnesota in the first half. I do think Minnesota can hang in there. And Denver's a team that, without Murray, really does not have many complementary scoring options to Jokic. Jokic is selfless. He's willing to get his teammates involved. But Murray is a very good, especially late in shot clock situations, as a shot maker. And with that being the case, if he's potentially not going to play, I just have a hard time trusting Denver to win by margin. I see a very important game for the potential 1 seed in the West, especially if you think that the Thunder might take a back seat with Shea being out or compromised for the immediate future. I'm going to lean to Minnesota in this one. I think that 7.5 is too many points, and as a result, I am going to go with the Timberwolves. Do I think that they're going to win the game? I didn't say that. I still would lean to Denver to win, but this screams 1 possession late, maybe 2 possessions late. I don't see 3 possessions. I think 7.5 is too many. I'm going to go with the underdog, and for the total, bit tricky. The last meeting did land 227, so I guess I am going to lean to the over in this matchup. Nothing really strong, but I'm going to lean to the over. This total feels a bit short. Anyway, for player props in this game, I do like Naz Reid, who's been very solid offensively for the last couple of games. Murray might not play, so it's tough to actually find much to like outside of Jokic. Jokic points, I think, is going to be worth an automatic look, especially if Murray's not going to play, because Jokic has done very well offensively against the Timberwolves. To go through Jokic's numbers against the Timberwolves, he has been really, really dialed in terms of points, and the assists have really not been there. And I do think that the under 8.5 assists is worth a look. He has gone under 8.5 assists in 6 of the last 10, and you can get it at plus money. It's plus 104 on FanDuel. For points, though, for Jokic, he's at around 26.5. The over is about minus 108. He has gone over in 3 of the last 4. He did have 35 in the last game against Minnesota. He's had at least 28 points in 3 of the last 4 meetings against Minnesota, and Gobert might not play. So give me Jokic over for points, under for assists. Give me one of those games, but I definitely do not mind Jokic for the potential monster rebound game, but I don't see the assist being there. Yeah, Munaf, if you want to stop by, you can. It's fine. I do the tennis show by myself, so it's up to you. But if you want to give out some picks and you want to hop on, you definitely can. So, Munaf, cue the hero music. Why do I hear boss music? Yeah, Munaf, you can stop by if you want to. You know how to. But I think that's every game. Besides 2. 2 more games. Terrell's hopping back in now, though, so we'll see what happens. But that's my thoughts on the Minnesota game. Terrell, do you think you are back? I don't know. Are you good or no? No? Okay. No. Okay. So Terrell's still working on it. I don't know what's happening there. Munaf's going to try to stop by. Moving on, though, to the next game. Going to look at the team that actually beat the Thunder in overtime a couple of days ago. Shout out to them for cashing that plus 220 ticket. For me, the Rockets, trying to extend their winning streak, trying to keep pace with Golden State for that final play-in spot. They are currently minus 7.5 at Utah, and the over-under is set at 229.5. For the injury report, you have Utah being relatively healthy. You have Clarkson's out, Markkanen's questionable, and Houston's fully healthy, with the exception of Şengün, obviously, and Whitmore. I can't take Utah. I just can't do it. I think that you're looking at a spot where you're the Rockets fan. You want to go first?
What's going on? What are you on, Rockets, Chaz?
Yeah. I really can't make a case for Utah, so I'm just going to go with Houston, but I'll let you go.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Rockets are playing their best basketball right now, about 10 in a row now for the Rockets. Yep. This number feels like a lot, 7.5. What I think it opened, I want to say 2.5, got up to 5.5, and now 7.5. But I mean, look, they're the hottest team in the NBA right now. Utah, one of the worst defensive teams here. I guess it's minus 7.5. I think my more favorite play would probably be the Rockets team total to go over in this game. Again, offensively, they've been absolutely fantastic, even without Şengün, right? I mean, Jalen Green's been playing out of his mind. You've seen moments from Fred VanVleet. Amen Thompson's been playing well as well. So I'd lean here with the Rockets of minus 7.5, but I'd definitely look at their team total to go over in this game against the Jazz. Might be a tricky spot because it's kind of the last game of a mini road trip before they go back home against Dallas. But I mean, this team is playing with all the motivation in the world. I don't know if you saw the last game against the Thunder without SGA, but in overtime,
better have seen it. I had the money line at plus 220. I better have seen the damn game.
After the game, we actually had like the owner in the hallway or towards locker room just high-fiving the head coach, and he shook every assistant coach's hand and all that good stuff. But yeah, so lean Rockets 7.5, team total over for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll throw in Jalen Green props because why would I not take Jalen Green props at this point? But Utah has quit on the season, just simply put. And we know Houston has been great. So give me Houston to keep it rolling, and we'll see if they catch the Warriors. But the point is they have to keep pace, so they're going to be motivated. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Rockets there, and I will lean to the over in this game. Utah doesn't guard anybody. The Rockets might score 120 by themselves, probably more. So I'm going to lean that way. On a separate note, Dylan Brooks, I need one more technical foul. I need one more. And this whole thing ends, and I basically win. So one more tech in 10 games. Please give it to me. I'm hoping somebody else acts like Giddey, tries to help somebody else up off the floor, and Brooks just shoves him out of the way. It's all I need. Give me one more tech in the final 10 games, and we'll go from there. Anything else?
Odds are in your favor. Your odds are in your favor for sure if he needs one more.
I hope so. I mean, it's 2 more for suspension, so he does have 1 more of leeway, which is working in my favor.
Yeah, I think he gets it.
All right. Moving on to the last game, though. You have a rematch of that embarrassing game on national TV earlier this week as the Kings were allegedly supposed to play against the Mavericks. They didn't show up, but they were supposed to, as they lost the game by about 30. Game was over pretty early on, especially after like the first couple minutes of the third quarter, the game was over. But the Mavericks have been playing some good basketball. You're looking at Luka being questionable. Kleber's questionable. Josh Green's out. Sacramento's fully healthy. It's a spot where it's a pretty clear revenge angle if you want to go for the immediate rematch spot where the Kings should be pissed and they should be focused, especially if Luke is going to be missing with the Achilles issue. But I don't know if I can take Sacramento. They're a psycho team. They're in bad form. Dallas has been playing some good basketball recently. I understand why Sacramento's favored, especially if Luke is going to be sitting. I can't trust this team. And I think Kyrie by himself might still be able to carry this team to a win. I'm going to lean Dallas, but you can talk me off the ledge.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times we've talked about these teams that kind of play in those, again, consecutive games, back-to-back, whatever you want to call it, against the same opponent. Coming off of a game where you lost by 36 points, this is a game where we'll find about how much pride the Sacramento Kings have, right? Because both those teams in that situation a couple nights ago were in a back-to-back situation. The Kings this season haven't been very good in those back-to-back situations, but now they've had 2 days off. Now they've had some time to digest that 36-point loss. I think they get up for this game. I really do, because again, you take a look at the standings, is that one game separates both of these teams by, I think it's the 5th or 6th spot to I think the 7th or 8th spot. So you talk about tiebreakers and all that stuff in the Western Conference. Like, this is a game that the Sacramento Kings definitely need. And you take a look, Sacramento Kings coming off of a loss and they're at home. I think they have been really good in that spot here. Let me just double check it because I was looking at this last night. Yeah, so 10-2 straight up, coming off of a loss, and they're playing at home. They're 7-5 against the spread. So my gut tells me Luka may sit here tonight. Even if he does, I just think this is a good spot here for the Sacramento Kings. Like you, Scott, I've had trouble with this team as well, but I think just in the situational spot here, I do think they get the job done. So I'm on the Kings here, minus the 1.5.
I mean, I did get a piece on the Kings to win the division, and they immediately lost by 30-something points, so I hope you're right on that.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But, yeah, once again, it depends if Luka plays or not, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, now it's time to actually get into the Lock+Dog picks for the show. Munaf, you showed up late, but I'll let you go first.
All right, let's go. Let's just go.
You gave out none of your opinions for about 90% of the cards, so I'll let you look it over if you want.
Let's go. Let's go Rockets team total over on that number. I'm starting to see them move towards -8 now. So I'm trying to pull up the number here real quick. What's that team total? Give me a second. Should be around 1.8. Yeah, 118.5. Again, we know how well this team has been playing. You mentioned how bad this Utah Jazz defense has been all season long. And I think that's just going to continue this game. And again, let's just play on this team that has all the motivation in the world. And again, they've talked about it, that they're going to try to stockpile as many wins as they can before the season's over. If they get into the playoffs, great. If they don't, at least they made the effort. And I think that's everything that Coach Udoka has asked for from this team. And offensively, like you mentioned, Jalen Green's been playing really well, but it's also how great offensively, efficiently they've been over the last 5 games, where they ranked number 2. And on top of that, they're really playing with a lot of pace. And that's something that we haven't seen from this Rockets team. And since Şengün left, they've just been getting up and down the floor. So I say all that. Rockets team total over 118 has 118.5 as my lock. For my dog, I'm actually going to go with a player prop that I played last night. I think that number is probably now at 12.5, but I'm going to ladder it up. That was Jalen Duren rebounds. I think this is an opportunity where he does get into 15 plus rebounds here tonight. So I'm trying to find some alt numbers for Jalen Duren here. So 15 plus is at plus 185. He had, I want to say there was a spot where he had 18 or 19 against the Wizards earlier this season, but he's gone over this number of 12.5 in every single game this season against the Wizards. So yeah, 14, 19, and 18. So if you can get this up to 20, get some nice plus money odds on that, I definitely think that this is a huge rebounding night here for Jalen Duren. So officially for the show, I'll give out 15 plus at plus 185 here, Scott.
All right. So for my lock on the show, I got a couple of options. I could go player props. I could go sides. What do I want to go with? I think for this one, I am going to go with a side. You know what? I'm going to trust my instincts here. Even though they did win their last game, I was not overly impressed. I've been low on this team for the last couple weeks, and I saw the other team lose to a Warriors team without Draymond Green for 44 minutes. I'm going to go with Orlando to get the job done against the Clippers. I like them at home. I don't think the Clippers are in great form, and I do think that the Magic are going to bounce back. Give me the Magic. You could go plus 1.5 for the money line. I'll go plus 1.5 for the hell of it. But give me the Magic as my lock. I just think them at home at this price against a team that has not been in good form, I do think it is a very good deal. So I am going to go with the Magic on that one. For my dog, I was going to blindly take the Lakers, but I really am assuming LeBron or AD is not going to play because the line has shifted that heavily. So I don't think I can actually get to the window with that, even though I want to. Trying to think if there's any props that I'm really tempted by if I want to go for anybody to drop like 30 and change. What's Jalen Green's number at? I have to check. It's got to be somewhere in the high 20s at this point, but let me just see what that line is.
I know last game it was 26.5, and I think obviously they went to overtime. Yeah. So obviously the books has adjusted on that. One like Sabonis triple-double or like Luka triple-double if he plays.
Well, I'm trying to see what the alt line would be. I mean, I can get 29.5 at plus 120, which isn't that
I think
bad.
he has another 30-plus point game.
Yeah, I'll do that. Give me Jalen Green over 29.5 points. And you know what? Let me actually try to do a same game parlay to boost it because I know Terrell would give me a hard time since it's not a plus 140 or higher. I'm going to throw in the money line with Houston there, but let me just quickly see what I could get if I did that combo. So let me just quickly pull that up for a second. Sorry, Jalen Green. And the Rockets, that is plus 147. So once again, my lock's going to be the Magic plus 1.5, and my dog will be on Jalen Green 30-plus points and Rockets money line at plus 147.
There you go.
And now we got to do an under lineup, which is, I guess, a good sign because that's our bread and butter. So let's keep it rolling.
Let's see.
I'm assuming you want Jalen Green points as a starting point.
I think I'd rather go Duren rebounds.
I'm saying we could do both.
Yeah, we could do both.
So we'll do both of those. What's the line on Duren?
Let's see here. Let me find it. It's at 13.5 on the books, but let me see what Underdog has it at. Give me a second here. Loading a little slow. NBA pregame. Yeah, 13.5.
Sure. Looks like the higher on that. Green. We'll take the Green at 28.5. And there any other props you like?
I was looking at like Brunson assist, or if you want to do like, I really do like AD in the spot, but like you mentioned, we're not sure if he's going to play tonight or not, or if it's LeBron that's going to sit.
We can always take it and it gets voided. So it's not the end of the world.
I think AD has he had that night off after that double overtime game, so he should be well rested. I don't think there's really anybody that can guard Anthony Davis. So I don't know if you want to go like points or like points and rebounds.
I think I'd probably go points and rebounds. I see the books have it at 39.5, but I'm not sure what Underdog would have.
Yeah, it's at 39.5 for.
Sure. So let's take that.
And Jalen, I'm sorry, I misspoke on Jalen Duren. It's 12.5 rebounds, not 13.5. So we'll throw that in there. All right. So Anthony Davis points, rebounds higher, 39.5. Jalen Duren higher, 12.5 rebounds, and then Jalen Green higher, 28.5 points.
Yep. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Once again, apologies for the technical difficulties with Terrell. I don't know what happened, but his mic short-circuited, so I don't know. Happens to the best of us.
I do have Terrell's lock and dog if you want me to give that out.
Sure. Why not?
So he's got the Orlando Magic plus 1.5 as his lock, and then he's got the Pistons money line as his dog here tonight.
His commitment to the Pistons bit is really tremendous. I hope it works out for him. I'm surprised he didn't fade Miami, getting like 10-1 or whatever. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up. So once again, a reminder, you had 6 lock and dog picks instead of the usual 4 for the show and the Underdog lineup. But we're back once again on Monday. And until next time, you know where to find all of us on Twitter. Myself at Reichel Radio, Munaf at SportsNerd824. Reminder that he did pop up on short notice. So shout out to Munaf for filling in. And Terrell, of course, find him at Really Real on Twitter. I'm assuming you're doing a Propcast show after this?
Yeah, me and Chris are going to go in about 10 minutes for Propcast. So if you guys want to hop in over there, coming off a show where we went 6-0 on Wednesday. So hopefully we can carry that. But yeah, if you guys want to hang around for about 10 more minutes, me and Chris will go live here in a little bit.
Yeah, but either way, until next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.